like sucking, but I ain't gay.
Legit bad podcast.
Fuck those honkies.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
He really knows how to suck a wiener.
Okay, welcome back to Legit Bat. I'm Joe. Jen's here. No Ben or Lene tonight. He is busy with his kids, and that's fine. We'll give him that. We don't have any announcements, right? Do we ever?
I don't think so.
Yeah. No, it's just us, just talking shit like usual. But this is season 8, episode 1. In case anybody gives a shit, I don't know why I arbitrarily numbered shit like that, but
What is it, 25 episodes in a season?
yeah, I just came up with that. We got to the 25th episode of the first season. I'm like, let's make a season 2. I don't know what that does, but it kind of categorizes shit. But yeah, it's stupid. Anyway, we got XCubed420. I will not use his real name here tonight, as I did the first time we had him on. But I mean, probably already know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I might slip up and call you your real name. I'll have to bleep it out later, which I won't do.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I'm easily accessible, so it's all good. I mean, my actual name is in my email address, so when folks see
I saw that.
it's there, so it's okay. So
I could find you if I wanted to, but I don't really have a reason to. I can just talk to you on Zoom. So
yeah, there we go.
yeah. So XCubed of the famous Day Zero podcast with Charlie, Lindsay, and Corey, and then sometimes us and whoever else comes on. But tell the people what else you do, because you've got your own shit going on.
Oh God, Lee, what else do I do? Well, I do quite a bit. Well, I had an early on YouTube career that got cut short on Christmas of 2021. That channel got deleted, but yeah, it was a Merry Christmas. I think it was a day before Christmas Eve. So I'd actually got up to 1,000 subscribers on that particular channel. I was actually near 1,100 before they nixed that. But a lot of people follow me over to BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and Odyssey. So I've been continuing to do the stuff there. But I have recently revived another YouTube channel, XCubed420 Presents. There's a dash in between the X and Cube because if I have X and Cube together, then that is a band name on YouTube. I mean, it let me know that it was a band name. So yeah, so email address banned and that name's banned. But if I put a dash in between it, then it's okay. So that's how I got away with that. But on that particular channel, I've been doing random stuff on that channel. So relationship stuff. Me and Corey's been doing some movie reviews, trailer reviews, which is also on podcast platforms. Showtime with the Cube. So I've been devoting a lot of time towards that, but I've still been posting on my other channels as well. I guess you could call it more serious channels per se. If I'm serious, I'm not sure. Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen you serious ever. So
yeah, I mean. Yeah. So they were probably more serious content. I guess conspiracy content. Let's just say that conspiracy theory content. So those are still alive and thriving. And then I've just got shenanigans over there on YouTube now. I'm not sure if they're white shenanigans. They're more dark white shenanigans. White shenanigans for me. So as you can tell right now, I'm in my ominous feeling. I'm in my 1940s horror movie. That's what I'm going for right now. You know what I'm saying?
Way better
behind me. Yeah. Gene was like, I should flip the crosses upside down. Yeah, man, I got my camera out and everything. The Canon's out. It's hooked up through HD. I'm here, bud. I'm here. I'm ready to get down.
Well, I mean, your name is XCube, so I'm sure there's going to be people out there that are like, Cube. Oh no, Cube worship, Black Cube of Saturn. I'm sure there's those people. Have you heard that at all yet?
Oh, no, the Black Cube of Saturn. Fill me in on this. This is very interesting. The Black Cube of Saturn. I'm out of the mix.
That's some pretty, as far as I know, pretty deep conspiracy shit. But it's if you look into the Black Cube of Saturn stuff and all the black cubes that are present in everything, and the Black Cube also makes a hexagon. If you draw a cube out, it makes like a hexagon or something. It's pretty crazy, but there is interesting things to it if you really want to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, okay.
And there's
Okay.
the little cube the certain religious group wears on their forehead when they pray, and
Okay.
Corey would know about that more, I
It's
think.
used a lot in corporations too, as their symbol.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
there's all kinds
statues
of
and things.
it's everywhere, really. It's a really strange thing to look into, but you'll start seeing it everywhere if you look into it, though.
So you saying that my name may lend me to be an agent?
In some people's views, sure. I mean, we also got told that our logo was a sigil and that we were using it to advance my podcast. And I'm like, well, it's fucking not working. So could you tell me how to make a better sigil? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
So I mean, these are legit. You see, this is the problem. Okay, this is the problem with our side. All right, this is the epitome of it. Is that we can't get any backing without somebody saying you're grifting. Oh, you got a sigil up there. Oh, maybe you're agent of the Pope. You didn't denounce this every podcast. I'm just like, dog. Do you want to know why the other side always wins? Because they support each other, even when they fuck up. Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be a complete fuck. Balenciaga, however you say that, a complete fuck up. And what they do, they wrapped each other in loving arms. It's okay, brother. You fucked up this one time. Don't worry about it. You still got your job. You know what I'm saying? Over here, like, I'm not donating to you no more. I'm unsubscribing. You're filth. It's like, I mean, what I do?
That's why we're not
there.
canceled. That's why the little shows and even some big shows aren't canceled. People are always like, why are we still on the air? Because of that. They want the polarization in this community so bad, and it happens so frequently. They're the powers that be are letting it happen. They're like, cool.
Well, and
tear each other
it's
apart.
so easy to do on this side too, because you can say one thing and somebody will discount literally everything else you said. I could say in or out of context, world keeps on spinning, and someone will go, fucking Glober, oh, the earth doesn't spin, it's flat, stationary, blah blah blah. Even though we have plenty of flat earth shows and we're just listening to people talk, we say one thing like that and it's like, I'm never watching you again.
So we don't get that though. I think we've
we've got it. I mean, we had somebody say that Ben was eating his hands too much. He chews his fingernails.
That's pretty normal, though. I don't think we get shit on because we come at things with an open mind.
No, I was just
it's the people who are. Well, yeah. Ben frequently bites his nails on screen, like.
And somebody took the time to say you lost a subscriber. I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are.
It's always the people who say it when there's 3 other tiles on the screen that they could be. So look somewhere else, because if Ben's chewing his fingers, you can bet for damn sure that he's not talking. So if Ben's not talking, look at the person who is talking like a normal fucking person and stop watching the person who's chewing their hands.
Or just listen. You could just listen as well. Like there's
that always works.
Yeah, totally. But if you want to watch the person talking.
Yeah, but you know what that just showed though? It just showed that people don't know what to do with options. I figured this out. You know what I'm saying? And look, I know this is going to sound bad, but most people need to be controlled, because it just lifted their own devices. They just turn to mush and they'll just be laying there in the street. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've seen this at my job. When people have options, they are just, I mean, they're mouth breathers, they're knuckle draggers, they're looking off into space. I'm like, are you okay? Okay, no, scratch it. This is what you need to do. So like, okay, good, thank you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you gave people the option. Oh man, I can look at Ben. Damn, Ben, he's chewing his fingernails. It's like, hey, there's a conversation going on over here. Maybe take over this other conversation.
And then to extend that to, I'm going to get out my keyboard and type some shit about how I'm never watching you again. Boom, send. That'll show them. Yeah.
Like this guy was real mad about not being able to think about his options. He was like, I have to tell someone about this. Please tell me where to look. That's how we're going to respond from now on. Next time we get hate about it, you can just be like, oh, you should have been looking on the top right corner of the screen. Next time, try that.
Yeah. Upper
there
right.
You go.
Just be real vague, but very direct. Direct and vague.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That works. That works perfectly.
Enough ragging on the listeners. We get it. Everybody, I knew going into this, you're not going to fucking please everybody. There's always going to be one thing you do or say that some person's going to take offense at and then call you a hippie and a dumb blonde or whatever the fuck that guy said. So, yeah, we can't please everybody. Sorry, it's a free show. What do you want?
Yeah, you can try to. But once again, that goes back to lending to, we want this message to spread. Well, it's too much infighting. You know what I'm saying? It's too much infighting. People come to conclusions and come to different points in life as far as opinions and things of that nature. And you don't have to agree on everything. Some things that we think as individuals, somebody else might think is absolutely reprehensible. Like if somebody asked me about animals and they wanted me to give my spiel on like dogs and cats and stuff, they would think that I was some type of Satanist. Okay, I mean, just like the way I go in on that stuff, because for me personally, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I see a whole lot of broke people with 4 or 5 animals. Like, man, I just can barely make it. I was like, you got these animals you could get rid of, and that could. How dare you get rid of my animals? I'm like, well, yeah, nigga, you broke, man. I mean, what you want me? I mean, I'm trying to lighten your load, and that's why I hear people all the time like, keep when I get older, I want to be like you. I'm like, I don't know if you got enough time. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of sacrifice you got to make. A sacrifice you got to make, things you got to give up. You know what I'm saying? You have to move towards a more a consistent basis in life. Things I do are not flashy, but I'm consistent. That's the way I like to live my life. Is consistency. So yeah. Our opinions can be our opinions. You can enjoy somebody's content and disagree with them on a few things and still enjoy them as a person and content creator. So I think if we move towards that, then we can get we can get this following moving a whole lot better.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, I mean, we've said it before, I think, but there's plenty of shows where I'll disagree with a lot of what they say and still enjoy the show. I always think it would be way weirder if somebody agreed with literally everything you said. That's called a cult. That's pretty strange. Like if somebody agreed with literally everything I've ever said, I'd be like, there is something wrong with you, because there's no reason you should agree with everything I say. You should at least have some counterpoints to some of it. You know what I mean?
Or want to go about them in a different manner. So I mean that should be that's how we get to a better place. But like I said, I mean that's our issue over here. But we're working on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One person at a time. One person at a time. We
But
don't expect a million followers, but maybe if we get 5,
yeah,
5's
yeah,
good.
5 to 10 would be great. I still think there's only like 10 people that are subscribing, so that's thank you to those 3. It's easy to fracture, especially a community like this that questions everything, because you can find this dumbest fucking thing and be like, here's a splitting point, here's another one over here, and before you know it, you've got like 20 different factions of people in the same community fighting with each other about whether the earth is round or flat. It's like, okay, that as interesting as it would be to find out for sure, it doesn't really matter in the context of what we're doing here. Looking at the wrong people here. We can get along. If you believe the earth is a pancake, that's fine. I believe the earth is a square, also fine. We can still get along on the things that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
I think we should start a sideshow where we find these people and we mediate for them. So we'll let them
you go.
Point, and then we have no opinion either way, because we're like that. You're like that. I mean, we don't really. So there are certain things that we'll stand our ground on, but it's not in the conspiracy world because everything's so unknown and it's fun to think about and fun to research. So if we could get 2 really opposing sides, not just flat earth and round earth, other things, and then just mediate for them, maybe we could help people find a common ground.
Well, that's what I always say. You could come at me with the craziest shit. Say somebody is like absolutely certain the sky is red and everybody's been wrong and it's not fucking blue, it's red. I'd be like, that's crazy. Come on my show so I can hear why you think that, because I'm very interested why you think that. Maybe he'd convince me that we were wrong.
If he picked up an apple and held it up to the sky and said, this is the same color, I'd be like, oh, that's why. Like, that makes sense. Your eyes are weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got weird eyes. Okay. That's it right there.
Interesting, nonetheless.
Yeah, isn't that how people get scammed and stuff? That particular person had trusting eyes. Isn't it something like that? I mean, the weird eyes. They had trusting eyes, so I gave them all my money. It's like, I mean, they got you. You know what I'm saying?
Said he was a Nigerian prince. What's not to trust about that? I gave him 30 grand. Yeah.
He said he could triple my money. You know what I'm saying? Give me 30 grand. Yeah, I'll triple your money. It's like, okay, do you want my contact information? I'll find you. Don't worry. I'll find you.
Here's my cash app.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. I don't know. If somebody came up and they said that the sky's red, I would just be like, Look, man, we're gonna get somebody else who's are you colorblind, sir? Or ma'am? They'd be like, no. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get somebody else.
Oh, I
In
didn't say
here
I'd have
and-
him on the show. I said just
Okay.
come over, have a beer with me.
Okay. Okay.
Things that are blue and be like, what color is this? And if he said those things were blue, then you're gonna have to go a different route.
Right. Some things are
You know?
easier to parse out than others, and we could just
Okay.
find out real quick that this guy's fucking colorblind and be like, all right, you're cool though. Let's have a beer. I still don't care. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, he go into a whole diatribe about how the sky is actually red. You know, refractions of light and you know, all this stuff. It bounces off the surface, and you'll be like, okay, do we got anything else today?
He's like, yeah, I got.
We're gonna end with the weird eyes and call it a day.
He's like, I got
Yeah, there you go.
math to back this up. I got 4th grade math. That's how, you know, the curvature of the
Oh,
earth. You know,
he might have that Aborigines math. I think there's some teachers that are going and they're starting to learn this, the non-indigenous math. You know, our current math is colonialism, like the 2 + 2 is 4.
It's
Yeah,
racist.
it shouldn't be that. Yeah, it shouldn't
Right.
be that. I mean, man, early on when I made my YouTube channel, one of my best videos was the teacher, or she was actually a grad student who actually said, it's a black lady, that it was 2 + 2 is not 4, and they actually made a hit website on me. It made a hit piece on me, and one of my subscribers sent it to me. I was like, oh shit! They're like, yeah, this dude's hateful, and we're rescinding this black card. Look, which guys out there, if there's any black people watching, vote. Your black card is always in scrutiny. Okay, everything you do, your black card can be taken at any point in time. If you sound like me, your black card is non-existent. Okay, that's just all there is to it. My black card gets taken all the time. They just be like, oh yeah, I'm black. They're like, no, you're not. You're white. I'm like, but I got this though. Does this not count? They're like, no,
I
no.
got that
The
melanin,
black card is
son.
something that has, yeah. Black card is something that has to be earned, and you also have to pay your dues to keep it up. The Negro community can't just let you hang around. You know what I'm saying? Just because the color of your skin is black. You know what I'm saying? No, there's things you got to do to maintain your black card.
You're like,
I've
isn't
heard
that
this
the whole
before.
basis of it though? Is literally just the color of my skin? That's what you base everything on? I mean, come on.
Potentially, you know what I'm saying? But I've had people in the past, oh, I'm blacker than you. And they'd be pale. I'm like, you can't even go stand outside for 15 minutes. You're burned. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know you're not blacker than me. Are you talking about culturally? Okay. I mean, I listen to rap music, R&B. I mean, come on now. So, I mean, I watched.
You are black. Obviously, you
yeah.
should. Yeah.
There's that one lady in the Midwest that had African American on her birth certificate, and she was very clearly white, all the way white, like blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. But it said it on her birth certificate. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, but is she like Elon Musk? Elon Musk is technically African American.
Right. I have a
Oh.
friend
He was
that
born in South Africa.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
she was born in like West Virginia, and her parents were not from Africa.
Oh, okay.
It
You
said,
see,
like,
I'm not.
I think it
Uh-huh.
said black or something. Whatever it said, she was trying to get funds for school or
Oh,
something.
there you go.
It was
Oh,
wild.
reparations.
I don't remember the whole story.
Was she
Not
trying to get
reparations.
reparations too?
No, I
Okay.
think she was trying to identify as black on like a college application or something.
I was just gonna go there. Maybe she identified like trans people. She's like, no, I'm black.
But
Totally. I feel black.
It was because I think the hospital made a mistake. And she was like, she was just using it.
Oh
She's like, I'm
man.
gonna run with this shit.
Now I have made a couple of videos in the past of women saying that they were black, their whole or African American, which that's offensive to me. So my African American gentleman, sir, I'm definitely just American. You know what I'm saying? I haven't stepped foot in Africa. I don't plan on stepping foot in Africa ever. A field trip or anything. You know, somebody, oh man, what place in the world you want to go?
You're
I'm
racist.
like, yeah, I mean, exactly. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And if I went over there and I started talking to them, they'd be like, man, you need to leave. Okay. Obviously you in the wrong spot. You're not going to integrate well, sir. Okay. I mean, I'm
You
just
ain't
letting
one of
you
us, boy.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the way it would be. But yeah, so yeah, black people out there, just be careful. Okay. When you're hanging around other black people, they're always attacking you. Okay. Uncle Tom, you know, you did something that was white. Oh, you hang around too many white people. I mean,
Real
they're
quick,
rubbing off on them.
Explain to me what the Uncle Tom thing is. I've heard that a few times, and it's blacks calling other blacks, "You're an Uncle Tom." What the fuck is that? I'm too white for that.
Okay, yeah. So the Uncle Tom is that you are an apologist for white people. Okay, that's the whole premise there. So you're
So
like,
you're a
well, you know,
decent person.
yeah, yeah. You say they're like, all white people are bad. You know, when they did the BLM stuff and they were going out there and kneel before the black people and scrub their shoes. I'm just like, man, y'all better not kneel. And folks were kneeling. Maybe it was a skit. It may not have been a skit. Maybe it was a
This is
skit.
SNL, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was a skit. But yeah, so the whole Uncle Tom premise is that you're an apologist for white people, white society, white colonialism. And so within that, you have now lost your black card. You are siding with the white people and you are evil for doing so. So we're going to label you the Uncle Tom. We're going to make sure the rest of the community knows who you are and what you stand for. So it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. I always say align yourself with people that you can advance with. That's the only thing that matters. Align yourself with people you can advance with. There's very few people in the world you can actually trust. So if you can find, you know, 2 or 3, then you're doing pretty good as far as in a close circle. So
Oh, these
that's
days
the
that
way
would
I feel
be
about it.
gold. Yeah, 2 or 3.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's always division trying to be created. They do it with men and women too. If you don't bow down to women, you're a misogynistic piece of shit. Like, I mean, it's okay. You don't have to.
Oh
We
man.
just talked about that the other day about how
Like men are supposed to kiss women's asses and
or the other way around, whatever it is. I was like, no, men and women are provably categorically different. That's awesome. It makes the world a very
Yes.
interesting place.
till 2022.
Like if we were all the same,
Yeah.
what am I putting my dick in? No, see, that's misogynistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, isn't that the premise? The premise of us is to mate and to continue the species. That is the purpose of life. All right.
Prime
I mean
directive
that's
of
it.
humans.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's it. Of anything living that reproduces in said manner. Okay. Now. The only difference is that we actually talk to each other, we manipulate each other. In the animal kingdom, there's just more bullying. Okay, bullying's natural. Despite what people say, oh, bullying, oh, don't be a bully. Bullying's natural in society and in the animal kingdom. That's how the strong survives. Unfortunately, okay. So you've got to be able to overcome that. But the whole feminine movement, all the feminine movement did was allow women to monetize their own sexuality. That's pretty much was it. Okay. And at the same time, you can't call them a whore for it. And I was just like, yeah, but she just took, she just took 10 dicks, over the past week on her OnlyFans page.
And she's a strong, independent woman.
Right. So what exactly is the definition of a whore then in your eyes? Like, I mean, if taking 10 dicks isn't, then what the fuck is?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, but they're redefining it. What was it? I was looking at the Sauce cast, and who they have up there? Alexis Texas. She was talking about her past or whatever, and she said,
Is this an
man, she
adult video model star?
yeah, she's one of
okay.
the I don't think she's in the industry anymore. She's kind of aged out. She probably got her own web page. That's usually what these women are doing.
She's not in the porn industry anymore. She turned 19, so they can't have her.
Yeah.
Alexis Texas.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't put that on
Alexis.
screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've seen her bent over. She's got a big rear end. But
no wonder you know who you are, who she is.
I mean, it's a big booty, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, let's not cut any corners. But she was up there and she said, I don't know why people look at me like I'm some type of slut. There's women out there who slept with more men than I have. I was like, yeah, but everybody gets to see who you doing though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least the other women.
Yeah,
at least
most women try to hide it.
Yeah. At least they've been discreet, and you just got to be honest. Like they're like, well, I need a man who can handle me. It's like, well, most men don't want their woman to be on screen where everybody can see it for $4.99 a month. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, you're just a weak man if you can't handle that, though.
Yeah.
You have trust issues.
No, I think it would take a strong man. So I think that someone could be a porn star or a stripper or exotic dancer or whatever they're supposed to be called. It's fine. I don't disrespect them in any way, but if they can have a functioning relationship and their dude respects them and they get along, then good on them.
Right, and the problem
great.
is that is the exception, not the rule, which shows there's a problem there.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, the dudes that they have to get either there's one or two things. Either they don't really offer anything and they're there for the ride. Which there was
Literally.
there was one I've got a few TikToks saved. There was one woman who's up there who does OF, and she says, "Yeah, I'm in an open relationship." Now, men out there, if your woman ever says to you, "Let's try open relationship," that is a total L for you because you cannot pick up enough poon. But she can get D all day if she looks decent, just decent. But D is available, okay, and it ain't far away. Okay,
Open for business.
Yeah, I mean, if you because men are straightforward. If you go up to men, because also for women, they're at a they probably have less opportunity to have sexual harassment charges put against them. Be honest, how many men turn women in for sexual harassment?
Just talked about that
We
the other
just
day
talked
too.
about that the other day. I was like, man, because a guy, I mean, I feel like it would be really hard for them to get it up if they were being raped. But what if the chick was able to, because his body responded physiologically as a body responds, and then she sat on his dick and fucked him? It's the same as a dude raping a chick and she gets wet or whatever. It doesn't mean she's into it. It's just what your body does.
Right. That dude though wouldn't go to the cops, A. And if it was a fine ass chick, he'd be like, dude, you would not believe I got raped by the hottest chick last night. If it's a nasty chick, he's just gonna keep it to himself and be like, that's
get away. Like he's legitimately like trying to actively escape, and she ends up touching it. It just might get hard.
Not to mention,
able to fuck him.
Some dudes, if a chick comes up and holds a gun to their head and is like, "You're gonna fuck me," he's gonna be like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Can you say weird shit in my ear while you do it?
Yeah.
Hold a gun down my throat or something. Get weirder.
Exactly. So that's one of the premises there as far as the open relationship side. Men, it's an L for you, okay? Because she's gonna be getting banged out, and you're gonna be sitting at the house playing a video game, and she's gonna come home and be like, "Oh, I love you, honey." It's like, man, you just got dug out. But anyway, the woman was up there, and she was like, somebody had a comment and said, does your husband is your husband allowed to go out and sleep with other women? And she's like, yeah, he is, but he doesn't for some reason, and I want him to do that more. And I'll be bringing men, I bring women home and all this, and unless I bring them home and she's willing to do it with us together, he really doesn't do it. I was like, yeah, because most women find most men repulsive. I mean, that's all there is to it. And you just got a whole lot more to lose. You can't just go out there and just, go run up and rub on some girl. Now, one of the ways that women sexually harass men all the time is by coming up and actually touching. Now, that's usually how you know that a woman's more than likely into you. She comes up and she touches you anyway, because, if a woman's repulsed, she's not going to get near you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how a whole lot of women, they come up, that suggestive body language, a touch. It's like, oh, bud, I mean, harassment. You know what I'm saying?
Start rubbing on you like a cat, like
yeah. I'll be like, hold on, harassment now. But you're a dude. You're like, I take it. You know what I'm saying? A slow Tuesday, you take about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Are they on the scale? The scale's 1 to 10. There ain't many zeros out there, and I hadn't seen an 11 yet. You know what I'm saying? There are a few zeros now. All right, so don't
between
get
1 and 10?
Zero.
Okay.
A zero? I've never seen a zero.
You hadn't 600 pounds. 600 pounds.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Kamala Harris is on the list, but I mean, I'm sorry, she's on the scale. I mean, you just like, look, it might be what they call that, a hate fuck. Yeah, it might be a hate fuck.
Well, no, and it would be great too, because that's the one time if she raped me, I would go to the cops just to fuck her over.
There you go.
Get it done, get the job done, and be like, 911. Yeah, you're never gonna believe this.
Yeah, I've got video footage. I said no the whole time. Yeah, I got video footage. I said no the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just crazy, man. But yeah, the feminism, a lot of that's why why we're struggling today in the West as well. They're able to capitalize on that aspect, which used to, you needed a man back in the day to pimp you out. That was the way it was, and it was more for protection. If somebody got rowdy with you or whatever, you had a man to come protect you from getting potentially beat the hell up, killed, or whatever. But now that we have this digital media, it's easier than ever to get yourself out there. And Instagram is the number one way they get themselves out there. I didn't realize this, but Instagram's the number one dating app. Folks say it's like, oh, if you're trying to, go on a date, you use Instagram. I was like, what? They got all these other dating apps. And it was like, no, Instagram's the number one dating app. That's where all your high level celebrities and everything, if they see a chick they like online, they send DMs to them. Oh yeah, I'll fly you out. And then I always like the innocent thing. Oh yeah, he's flying me out, and then he asked me for some booty. I'm like, oh, what you think he was gonna do? I mean, you know what I'm saying? The man flew you out. He flew you out. I mean, I don't know how much a ticket is, but I'm pretty sure it ain't $5-10.
He flew you out to have a nice cupcake in a game of Scrabble.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
We can play Scrabble on the phone. Is it called Scrabble? Is it worded? Word.
That is funny though. You were saying back in the day, the prostitutes needed a man to pimp them out because that was like their weapon if shit went sideways. Now all they need is Apple or Android, and that's their pimp because they can just shut their phone off or delete somebody. Yeah, it's way easier, way more cost effective.
That's it. And some of these chicks are making crazy money, man. Crazy money. I don't know if you know Mandy Rose. She was in the WWE, a wrestler. They recently
that shit.
Yeah. They recently fired her because they found out that she had some spicy content on a site called Fan Time. And so once they fired her, she was like, okay, well, I'll just go do that full time. She made $500,000 in 1 week.
Holy shit. Why don't you just retire? I could retire on 50 grand.
I'm just like, is there that many dudes out there that's just starving? There is. Brothers out there starving, man. I mean, they malnourished.
How do you think strip clubs are open still to this day? Because there are that many starving, sad dudes out there that would rather spend $1,000 in one night to have somebody stick their ass in their face than just like do it the normal way where you spend $100 on dinner and maybe like be nice to the chick or something. Like there's other ways, obviously, but I mean, that's one.
Broken people though at strip clubs a lot. I mean, there's bachelor parties and then there's these broken people who are just shells of humans and they go.
Oh yeah, and they're by themselves. Yeah, and they're by themselves.
Yeah, like it's crazy. I was never a stripper, but I used to go all the time way back in the day. A couple of friends and we would it sounds like I'm an escort, but we worked at a pizza place and we would like take turns driving the owner to like casinos and stuff. And he'd just pay us money so he didn't have to drive drunk because he was like an old dude and he wasn't creepy or weird. He was like, will you just wear a nice dress and I'll pay you $300? And we're like, sure. And he never asked for anything weird ever. He just was like,
he just wanted to feel like Hugh Hefner for a night.
Did absolutely. And it sounds weird when I tell people I did that. They're like, you were an escort. I'm like, no, I wasn't, dude. I swear. Like this dude was super nice, but he would take me to strip clubs all the time. And he'd be like, all right, we're going to the strip club, Jen. And I was like, God damn it. All right, fine, Tom. So I'd have to go and sit there and I would watch all these people.
Should I bleep that out?
I don't think he's alive anymore.
Okay, then
he was like 75 when I was 21 and I'm 42 now. I can't imagine that he's alive, but
still going.
He was a great dude, but he'd take us to the strip club and we'd be like, all right. And I would pay for like a lap dance for him from like the ugliest girl there. Cause I felt really bad and who had like no teeth. And I would watch the people though. People watching is real interesting in a strip club. There was a lot of dudes in business suits, rich dudes, but they'd be sitting there just like staring blankly. Like they weren't like, oh yeah, like the way it is in movies where people are like getting all rowdy. That's not how it is. They're just kind of staring. And the girls are super happy. And most of them are very, very sweet. They're not slutty. They're not like, ew, let's take your day. Like they're just happy to be there and they don't have a lot going on, maybe intellectually, but that's okay too. They're super nice. But a lot of
they gotta make money somehow. It's not gonna be with their brain.
I bought a stripper once because I felt bad for her. She had like 2 teeth, and I'm like, hey, you want a margarita? And I bought her a drink, and buying a stripper a drink, I guess, is like 2 or 3 times the cost of buying a drink for yourself. So it was like a $25 margarita.
That's because they keep the difference.
Yeah, I don't know, but they were like, oh, you're buying it for her. It's going to be $25 if it's for her. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm still going to do it because I have pride issues, but Jesus.
Yeah. The times I've been, of course, they've been special occasions. Okay, usually bachelor
Right.
party. So we're with multiple people. Even the times that it wasn't that we happened to be down Myrtle Beach is the closest place, or even then there used to be a few skeezy places nearby. It was always with friends. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, act rowdy. Um, Always drop cash. You know what I'm saying? It was just a more of a fun time. It wasn't more like, man, we're sad and we're lonely. No, we were already like hammered drunk. It's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
how about some titties? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, no, I get
This
that.
was in
Actually,
Indiana too, so maybe it's
Yeah.
different. I only went in Indiana and like
it's definitely different.
yeah, it probably
Yeah.
was. Probably really cool in the big cities and stuff.
No offense to Indiana, but y'all nasty. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but it is no. There is a difference though between that what you're talking about and
Mm.
the guy that goes there on the regular and is very sure that this one chick it wants to be with him and marry him. Like, and that's
Mhm.
probably a lot of the people that are in there. The sad guys you're talking about. My old roommate, who has passed away now, rest in peace, was one of those guys. He lived on the coast up here in Northern California, which the North Coast is very, very, very sparse. It's kind of like the Indiana of California, and
Okay.
he actually did date a stripper over there, and
Hmm.
Aw.
I don't know the whole dynamic of that, but it was because he went there a lot and apparently paid her enough where she actually was like, fuck it, yeah, I'll come over and have dinner or whatever. You know, like you've paid me like $3,000 in the last week.
Did
Like,
you
I don't
meet him?
know. No, I didn't even really know him then. I was gonna say his name, but yeah.
It's fine.
So, yeah, there
Yeah.
is a difference though. If you're going out to party and just having a good time and you like you said, how about some titties? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like we were at a bar. We've been at a bar for 3 hours. It's like, hey man, are we gonna go home tonight? Yeah, we should probably go home tonight and save our energy for tomorrow. Then somebody's in the back like,
Money.
how about titties? And you're like,
Go to the titty bar.
I mean, I mean, why not? We are in a city, so I mean, that's what you do, right? I mean, it's a bunch of dudes together. You drunk. It's a bachelor party. Yeah, you're supposed to go see breasts. I mean,
Titties in
I
the
feel like
city.
that goes hand in hand. I feel like that goes hand in hand. But yeah, I mean, the men out here, it's just like there's a whole lot of guys, and they always say there's somebody for everybody. That's a incorrect saying. Okay, I've seen some gentlemen, and I look at them, and I'm like, I definitely know that you were paying multiple women $5.99 on OnlyFans. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like you look at them, you're like, boy, for them to get laid, but it's a miracle has to come their way. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? There should be somebody for everybody. But I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Life isn't fair. What they say, like 99% of women have had children, and only like I think it's like 60 or 70% of men have had children. So you've got that dynamic there where there's a whole lot of men who just didn't have access. Now, of course, if we're talking about years ago, if you got a cut on your foot, you probably die of that. You know what I'm saying? Gangrene or whatever. So you probably didn't live long enough to get any. So we talk about 300-400 years ago. So, but yeah, men nowadays, man, they're making a whole lot of women rich. I seen they had this one video. One of her subscribers, I think her name is Amaranth, but a guy sent her $70,000 in a box. $70,000. I'm like, but for $70,000, I'm leasing this thing for at least 3-4 years. That's mine for 3-4 years. That's a lease. That's a lease agreement. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And guys out there, be careful. Okay, be careful. Date naps, Tinder, Bumble.
Grinder.
What's some of the other grind? Yeah, be careful. Okay, because there's a whole lot of women out there that be trying to get some dinner dates from you, and that's a big no go. Okay, I mean, that's all I'm saying. But you be done wasted a whole bunch of money, and then you go home and then I had a really nice night. You get a pat on the back and you get ghosted, and you just like, man, I just wasted $100. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad about that. Okay, so be careful of that. All right, you gotta make sure that they actually want to hang around you. What's kind of crazy? I've been with my girlfriend now for 8 years, about to be 9, this June, and yeah, it took me 3 weeks before I took her out. I was like, man, I need to make sure that she's
I need to
gonna be
vet you.
committed to for what we got going on here. I mean, I straight up, I just like, man, I almost made one mistake one time. I was close. One mistake one time in my life. I almost took a girl on a date, and then it backed out. I was like, boy, I dodged that bullet. What was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? I was desperate at the time. I was like, man, this is the way to go. And then I was like, boy, I about messed up. Which brings me back to one of my favorite stories. There was a chick that I was interested in. Talked to her for multiple months. We were in the same friend circle, whatever. And then one day she was like, this is months into me talking to her. One day she was like, yeah, let's go out and get something to eat. I was like, okay, who's that? We was about to have a party. Let's go get something to eat. Okay, no problem. Went and got something to eat. And I just felt something was wrong. And the bill came and she was like, and they were like, hey, you want the bill? I was like, split it. And Bo, I mean, her eyeballs got wide. I was like, but you ain't my girlfriend. You want me to pay this? Are you crazy? I've been trying to talk to you for four or 5 months. And I mean, I've got the coldest of shoulders. So no, I'm good. Okay. I'm good. But you see, you got to be cold like that. You know, at times you got to protect yourself. Men, protect your meat. Okay. Protect your meat. All right.
And that
You
is
gotta
the
make
difference
sure you do
between
that.
the new digital strip clubs. Like people pay. I don't understand that at all. The dudes, like you were saying, that at least pay $5.95 a month to multiple people. I mean, good for those chicks. They're probably making way the fuck more money than me. If that's important to you, that's awesome. Like good for you. But the dudes that are doing that, it doesn't. I can't wrap my head around. The internet is full of free buttholes
Yeah.
and boobs and like, why are you paying this one person to be like, oh look, here's another shot of my butthole? Like, who? Why are you
You
doing
know
that?
why? You know why? Because they say their name on camera.
Because they think there's a chance. It's the same as a strip
That's
club. There you
it.
go.
That's it. False hope. And hope is not a strategy, guys. I'm looking directly in the camera. If your life is predicated on hope, you have toted a big L. You're fucked. Okay. Just scrap it. Scrap your life. Hope is not a strategy. It's pathetic, man. So I mean, you just lingering on a hope. And you know, some of these things you got to learn the hard way. I've tried to do more listening and learning as opposed to living and learning, which is probably why I've missed out on a whole lot of traumatic events. Because I've listened to folks and learned. I was like, well, do I really want to fuck up myself, or somebody just told me how the game works? So let me listen to them and let me save myself. And then I try to give people that information. They look at me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Keeve, you stupid. You ain't living life. I'm like, okay, you go out there and you get your ass busted. I'm trying to give you some game here. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll watch the video
listen.
later and then learn
Mhm.
from that what not to do. Yeah, thank you. Good.
Yeah, so I mean that's the way. If we did more listening and learning, you know, then we'd be doing all right. But you know, it's funner to live and learn. There's no doubt about it. You have a whole lot of highs, but when you get low, man, ain't nobody there to scrape you up. They got a psychologist that can give you some pills. You know, you're depressed, right? Ain't you depressed? Don't you want some pills? That I heard that helps. I mean, now the side effect is that you may become more depressed and have suicidal thoughts. But I mean, if that doesn't happen, then you should be at least okay. I mean, I'm just
I
like,
don't know. I think there's something to making mistakes on your own, though, so that you can have that firsthand experience and then pass it on to others. I get what you're saying, but if you do that personally, that's awesome. But if everyone listened to you and then passed that down, what if the first person was lying? You know what I mean? What if that wasn't true?
Well, I think,
you know, then nobody tries it, and
well,
it could have been
nowadays, like
something
there's
amazing.
enough people that do stupid shit that's on camera that like you said, watch
Okay,
and learn
that's
or
different.
listen and
Yeah,
learn.
watch and
Like
learn.
nowadays, I feel like
Yeah.
people don't really have a fucking excuse when they do stupid shit, because it's like you're on your phone watching TikTok all fucking day, or you're, doing whatever. You should know what not to do. You should have a general idea of how to be. And so if you go and do the same stupid shit, like eating Tide Pods or whatever else is, that's that's fucking dark, natural selection. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you already see that. You already know it's fucking stupid, and you did it anyway. That's retarded.
Because
Sorry.
they got
Yeah.
on 15 minutes of fame. I mean, or death.
Yeah.
One or the
Yeah,
other.
and yeah, this is true. Yeah, and I say that wholeheartedly, knowing that almost nobody listens and learns. So I said that wholeheartedly. That's why I said when people like, man, I'm trying to be like you. I said, man, you can't do it. You ain't got enough time. But the issue is that a lot of people they live and learn and they lose everything. All right, so I'm trying to. Of course, you have nuances in certain things. Okay, relationships, things of that nature. But if somebody's giving you some financial advice to sound there, they're sound financially. Hey man, maybe you shouldn't do this with the money, maybe you should do that, things of that nature. Or even in relationships, that it's like, hey man, watch out for a girl who would do this, who does that. If she's on social media, bent over, gaped open, and she's with you, it might be bad. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things like that.
That makes sense. That's some listening and learning I can get behind right there.
There's some
that
red
makes a lot of
flags.
sense.
Yeah,
Because that's educated listening. I mean, it's
yeah. Red flags.
someone who's already
Red flags. Yeah, that's what I'm about. I'm about giving folks red flags. That way they can protect themselves from what can happen in the future. And
it's like hitting the tip or the hint button on a game. It's like, I'm not gonna, like, you make your own decision, but here's a tip. If this happens, you might experience this. I'm just saying, you make your own choice. So go do that.
Yeah, exactly. So if we incorporated that, now of course, there's going to be, like I said, there's nuances within that, and there's things that everybody's going to go through at some point in time. But if we can get some of the major things under control, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of it is unfortunately around finances. We got too many people who are financially illiterate, and they put themselves in the holes, and then once you put yourself in that hole, you become desperate. Then you got to do desperate things. Okay, so I always tell people, if you're able to get yourself where you're financially stable, not rich, financially stable, then a lot of the things in life comes easy. All right, so that's one of the things that
does
I
suck
believe
too, because that is true, and it sucks that it comes down to that, because it fucking should be. But that is the world we live in. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was gonna say I work in that industry, and I see people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and I see people who make nothing, and they live exactly the same. They live just right at their means. I see people buying homes where they make just enough to afford the home they're buying. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing this for? Why are you buying a fucking mansion? You don't need it. It's two of you. Why don't you buy a modest home that's still nice, that's way cheaper? You don't need to literally push it to the limits. But that's what, in my experience, that's what I've seen people do. As soon as they get more money, they get a raise, they find a way to spend that money, so their disposable income stays exactly the same. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's where it comes into financial literacy. It's not so much about how much money you make, because there's been plenty of NBA players, NFL players, millions of dollars, and then 10 years later they've got no dollars. They've got $0.
File bankruptcy. Yeah.
It's just how'd you make $100 million and now you got no money? None, nothing to show for it. I mean, not anything.
If I made $1 million, I've said this before, you all would never fucking see me again, because I would find a way to make that work and never have to contact humans again. I'm being exaggerating, of course, but like, seriously, if I had $1 million, I'd be set for life. And not because I'm smart financially at all. I just know there's certain things you can do with $1 million where I could live minimally. I don't need a whole lot. I could live in a fucking tent. As long as I had
you don't need $1 million. You just need to not get yourself in debt. And that's what people do. I don't want to have like a long, boring financial conversation, because I do this all day, but that people just love to get themselves in debt because they have more things. They want stuff for whatever reason. Society tells them they have to. So they want more stuff. And then they go and get themselves into debt. They sacrifice themselves, basically. They're putting themselves out there and saying, yeah, I'll pay this back over 5-10 years with interest. Oh, Lord and Savior, so that I look really great to my neighbors or friends or family or whatever. And I'll have this boat or this really big house. But then they're fucked. Then they have to pay all that back, and it's fine. Maybe they can afford it. But why?
Exactly.
Fuck a boat. Like, I have enough friends that have boats. I'm not buying a fucking boat.
Well,
how many times are you going to use it?
Matter. That's just an example.
No, I know.
Anything.
I just have a thing with boats.
People will find a way.
Boats are a waste of money. Yeah, boats are a waste of money.
Smarted. For the amount of pleasure you get out of boating, not worth it. Sorry, I've been on a lot of boats. Not worth it.
Yeah, boats are a waste of money. And most of the time, the people who are buying the boats that's probably the last thing that they need to purchase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not one of these multi-million-dollar guys with yachts in Dubai. You're not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Where you're bringing in $1 million, $2 million a month. You're not that guy. So you just have to be careful with some of that stuff. You can enjoy life. You could rent a boat. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do a weekend, rent a boat. Something like that.
Even that's retarded expensive.
Or if you want to buy a boat, go for it. like look at your debt to
House.
income before you do that. You know what I mean? If you can afford,
I ain't got time for that. I don't have time for that.
or whatever. If you can afford a house or whatever it is, a car, but make sure you can buy it and try not to get in debt over it. That's all. Getting
Yeah, but
yourself
I
in
need.
debt is tricky.
Yeah, but I need this boat today, though. I mean, I don't have time to think about this. Okay. I mean, the hoes are coming over. I need the boat. Okay.
Right.
The
I would be
hoes
like,
said
well,
they-
it sounds like you're a lost cause, bro. Have fun.
yeah, the hoe. Hey, look, man. Girls
how
love
it
a
is.
boat. Girls love a boat. Okay. If you can get you a boat, girls love a boat. All right. That's just all there is to it.
Hoes
So,
love
I mean,
boats. Boats and
yeah, I
hoes.
mean-
That is a primary reason that dudes buy boats for real, so they can take
Exactly.
it. Put
They
on
buy
it.
jet skis
Yep.
too. They don't give a fuck about jet ski. They're just like, I know there's gonna be a chick that wants to come back here and ride on my jet ski.
The primary
It's also
reason why
sad.
dudes, the primary reason why dudes do about everything is to try to get a chick. I mean, it's just like,
Or to
I
try
mean,
to
that's-
escape chicks, because a dude can go out on
Yeah,
a
well,
boat and be like, "I'm fishing today. Bye."
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I was actually going to bring that up too, though. Like, I get it if you're a bass fisherman or something that wants a boat to go fit.
No, that's
Okay,
a
go do
different
that.
thing.
Okay, yeah.
A boat. I don't mean like something where you're fishing.
I'm just trying to clarify for the audience, like we brought up at the beginning, that there's going to be some things people
gosh.
get pissed
Oh
about.
yeah.
Five
Oh yeah.
things.
No, because there'd be one person. Oh, how dare you? This is reprehensible conversation. I got a boat, and I'm financially literate, and I don't use it for the hoes and the skeezies. I take my kids out, and I'm just like, calm down, man. Okay, we make
Okay,
a
well,
generality.
So I want a boat so bad. Like I know you said that you would never want a boat, and Joe thinks it's retarded, but I would love to get a boat because I love being on the lake.
No, if I had
would
that much,
absolutely love it, but
that
I'm
much
not retarded.
disposable income to be like, it's like buying a pair of shoes to get a boat. Sure, but most of the people I see have boats. It's not like a pair of shoes. It's like a second house payment. But
No,
yeah,
it is, and then you have to pay like the mooring fee. Like there's a lot that goes into
it's
it.
so
We
much.
can't afford it, and it's fine. But if we could.
no, I'm the first one to say it. I can't afford a boat, and I'm fine with it. Like I said, if it was a pair of shoes, I'd be like, sure, $20 for let's
If we
get a
win the
boat.
lottery, I'm buying a boat.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Hey, look, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Okay, win the lottery, buy a boat. Well, it all goes back to which I'm glad we got to an educational part of this. Hey, this is great. Liabilities and assets. Okay, liabilities and assets. That's what life is. All right. So there's a lot of stuff that people buy that are just straight liabilities. There's no asset at all. So, and
Like
I've
children.
realized this. Yeah.
That is
Well,
not
that's
something to
that's legacy, right? Isn't that supposed to be legacy? Make
You
you
kind
leave
of
a
buy it
legacy.
over 18 years. You kind of fucking buy it.
The financial
Actually-
industry views you by your liabilities and assets. That's how you're judged. That's your social credit score.
Yeah. Actually, most of them are up to age 30 now. 30 or longer.
Very true. Yes.
Yeah, 30 or older. So you got a little bit of ways to go. Especially with like Chat GPT and stuff like that. Hell, none of us might not be working right here shortly. You know what I'm saying? AI just be talking to everybody.
Oh, is that thing where you can put in it's like the art AI stuff, but you put in whatever you want the chat thing to write up, and it'll write up a fucking essay for you. It'll write up a marketing campaign. It'll write up literally whatever you want. Like I could
Like
write
a
up a
news
script to
article?
our show and just be like dicks, balls, farts, and it'll write up a whole fucking show for us, and we don't even have to do this.
Wow.
Like what Mysterious Universe was talking about. Like,
That's crazy.
can't wait till the AI. We don't have to do the show anymore. We can just tell the AI to do it.
I mean, that's a funny haha, but that can't be something that people should really think is a positive.
No, and people,
not a net
it's going to be
positive at
the
all.
uncanny valley at some point where people are going to be like, this is AI. Like when we read our articles on Planet Retard, we're like, think this is AI. Because you can kind of tell there's a human element to this stuff where it's like, this is very clinical and very the grammar's so good. This can't be a human. Because I've seen a lot of, mostly on Facebook, that I'm like, that's definitely a human, because AI would not fuck up that many times.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this is true. A lot of people are using it. I've seen where somebody use it for like lease agreements and things like that. It's just like it's crazy what it can do and how it can how you can take something and you type something later on and it take in and adjust what it typed earlier to meet your new standard of requirements. I'm just like, and now this thing, it's got every book logged in it. It logs conversations. It's learning the whole time. So, I mean, that stuff is Stuff's, I ain't gonna lie, it's a little scary. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, that's
No,
probably
that is scary. That's
It's
terrifying.
a little
'Cause there's no
scary.
emotion. There's no discernment. They don't care. They're not like,
no
oh,
thought.
well, that sounds like that person was being sarcastic. Instead, they're like, oh, there's a dash between the X and cubed, so it might be a different word than X cubed. Like they don't know shit. It's
Might
Yeah.
be the motherfucker. Well, probably not.
Yeah, but they can give you the most monotone answer as far as like customer service. So when somebody calls up about a bad product, oh, I want my refund. Oh, well, I'm sorry, we don't do refunds, but we can give you a $10 voucher to the website, and it just goes through, and it's just a nice little compact, note to you, like, Susie, she's really nice. It's a damn AI. I mean, it won't even Susie. I mean, Susie don't talk like that. Susie be like, "Fuck off, okay? I've been here for 7 hours. I'm sick of this shit. You the 800 caller talking about, I mistakenly bought this $800 item that I didn't want, and you just made a bad decision. So live with your bad decision, okay? Don't call me no
Can
more."
you please
that's
hang
what
up?
Susie
I'm
does.
looking forward to my cupcake and Scrabble. Come on, I need to go
Yeah,
home.
AI lose its shit. That is super important because humans lose their shit so easily, and AI just doesn't. You can be like, "You motherfucker, I'm gonna come over there right now and beat the fuck out of you," and
You're
it's like,
thank you for
"I'm
your.
sorry,
Yeah.
you sound upset.
Yeah.
Can I get you a gift card for this?"
And that makes you more mad.
And you're like, "No, you motherfucker, I'm gonna rip your eyes out." And it's like, "I'm sorry to hear that. Let me escalate this to a manager. Please hold."
And
But no human on earth would ever do that.
then
They'd
the
be
manager,
like, "Oh yeah, where do you live? Get the fuck over here now. I'll meet you in the parking lot, bitch."
the manager comes on, and is like, how was your experience with the chat bot? And you're like, and the manager's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And it's another fucking chat bot. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where we're going.
Yeah, that Chat GPT, and I don't even know how it popped up. All of a sudden, it just popped up. I was looking at something, and somebody's like, "Oh, how you can make money with Chat GPT?" I'm like, "The hell is that?" It's like, this is
It
going to
kind of came
revolutionize
out
the
of
world.
nowhere. Yeah, we might
Yeah,
have to
and
look that up at some point as to when that came about, because it literally popped up like the AI art thing, like Night Cafe and all those things. It kind of popped out of fucking nowhere, which terrifies me because they've been working on these algorithms for years to
That's been
come
writing
up with
articles
it.
forever. I'm not joking.
I'm pretty sure.
When I say on Planet Retard that I think that AI is writing articles, I'm not kidding. It is AI writing articles. You can clearly see it. It's either AI or someone with an American name who doesn't speak English as a first language.
Or at this
It's
point,
AI.
it could be AI writing the premise or the rough draft, and the human going through and being like, "Oh, I'll fix this word here to make it sound more
No
human."
way. No fucking way. No human would ever proofread
Unless
that
they
and
didn't
say this
speak
sounds
English.
great. No, but I don't think that's necessarily the case either when it's from an actual legitimate source, and you can tell it's AI because it repeats itself over and over again in sometimes the exact same way in 3 paragraphs in a row. It doesn't make any sense. That's not a human writing that, because that's not how English is taught in school. You're taught to do, the beginning, sentence, summary, and conclusion or whatever. Like that's how you write. You're not taught to repeat yourself over and over and over again and be vague. That is not how you write things. So that's an AI that doesn't know really what it's doing. And people are letting it out because most people are stupid, and they're going to read it and be like, wow, this is a mainstream article and this is really happening.
It comes from an authoritative source.
It's from Washington Post.
Just to kind of like ping back to what we were talking about earlier. This is something I heard about the other day, is that California, shock, Senate Bill 357 becomes effective January 1st. It eliminates from the law books the crime of loitering in a public place with the intent to commit prostitution, known as Section 653.22 in California Code.
Was that legal before? Because I thought that was illegal everywhere.
No,
except for Las Vegas.
No, it eliminates the law. So it was illegal to loiter with the intent to commit prostitution. Now it's totally legal to loiter with the intent to commit prostitution. But if you're just skateboarding, they're like, fucking, you're going to jail. But if you're like, no, I'm trying to get
skateboarding illegal,
trying to get somebody to suck my dick, they're like, oh, my bad. Sorry, sir. Move on. Yes.
Why not though? Why not? Who cares?
No, I know. It's just the whole thing is just so stupid that they're that specific.
Oh man!
If someone wants to do that with their life, let them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming there are still street hookers, but that's probably not.
You got to go to the
not
bad side
your
of
best
town
bet.
for that.
That's probably not your best bet. I'm just letting folks know. You need to at least get you something reputable. I would probably go
That's what
like
I mean,
a
on
Reno,
both
the
sides.
Bunny Ranch.
Someone wants
Yeah.
to be a prostitute and someone wants to get fucked by a prostitute, sucked or fucked by a prostitute.
Sucking, fucking.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You might have a
Hey.
bad time. You might not. Maybe it'll be their best day ever. Who knows? Who cares?
Hey, a lot of them do it, and they're not quote unquote for sale, like straight in the street. You know, you just be having a conversation. It's just like, yeah, you know, bills, man. I got bills piling up. Got rent due. Oh, your rent's due. Okay, how much rent? I got about $400 go towards it. Oh, is that right? Yeah. Just saying. I mean, you know,
She's like, "Do you want to go out to dinner?"
You
Mhm.
speak like you're from experience here, buddy. It sounds very, very specific.
no, I've never paid. No, I never paid. Well, hold on. All of us pay. All of us pay eventually. Okay,
One way or another.
you technically paying, but it's not a direct exchange. It's like, ma'am, I would like to have sex with you, and here goes $400 for your services. But 15 to 25 minutes is probably what will be, maybe less. And then yeah, you have a good
That's
day.
with
You know what I'm saying?
undressing and dressing again. Yes.
Yes. I want this to be a quick, easy in and out, and
And also taking a piss,
wipe my
brushing
hands
your
clean.
teeth. Yes. End to end. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Clinical as taking money for it. It might as well transpire that way.
No, dude, it's gonna be. I swear to you, it's gonna be like that in the future, where you're gonna have to sign a contract that's fucking notarized that says they consent and that they are of age, whatever the fucking age. It's
Having
probably
sex.
gonna be 9 by then, but whatever age they are, that's
Second is going to be illegal because of rape and STDs.
straight up demolition,
Yeah, and
man.
if you want to reproduce, you have to do it in a petri dish.
Or in VR.
Ooh.
You got VR and you got
It's the only safe and clean way to do it.
little
and
robotic
nobody can't
vagina
charge
that
you
just
with
like squeezes it while you're doing it, and you're like, oh yeah, baby, yeah. And she's over in the chair like a halfway across the room in another VR.
Demolition
with something
Man.
else on the screen. A big
Demolition
old black guy
Man.
with a redwood for a fucking dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Demolition Man. That's bad. Have
Yeah.
y'all seen that? Have you seen that Black Mirror episode? I think it's the first one where everybody's got a recorder in their head.
Yep.
And your eyes flip over and you can go back and you can pull up a scene and like relive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be some crazy shit like that, except you could go back and find out that your spouse was cheating on you with somebody else. Kind of like that.
Gonna go full
that show's
what
messed
was
up.
that other movie, Eternal Sunshine, where you can just be like, delete that one, delete this one.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will be so happy because they don't remember what the fuck actually happened. They're just gonna be walking around being like, I
There's
don't
that
know.
Black Mirror episode where they block the guy. The lady just blocks him, but she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But when you block someone, you can't see them in real life.
It's just all pixelated.
And they can't see you. And then the dude ends up being blocked from pretty much everybody. So every person he looks at is like a real fuzzy, crazy thing. And then he ends up killing the guy. Remember? That was in the White Christmas one. The White Christmas episode where they were trying to figure out what he did. I love Black Mirror so much.
Kind of a trailer for the future.
No, that dude stopped. He stopped doing those because of what happened in 2020. He's like, I'm going to stop doing these now because this is.
Yeah, we didn't.
I was wondering
we
why
haven't
there
had
wasn't
any more.
Shit.
Yeah, he said, yeah, when 2020 happened, lockdowns and all this crazy stuff happened, he's like, yeah, I'll see y'all.
He was like, this was just a cool show. Stop making it real, you assholes.
What kind
He's
of
like,
crazy people are you?
Did I give
Well.
people ideas? No, you didn't give them ideas. Don't worry. They're already thinking of this.
It was already in the cards, bud.
Look, the villains of this world, okay? Now, I pissed some people. I was on, was it My Third Eye podcast? I was on that.
Yeah.
With Ghost. Ghost, yeah. Yeah. And we end up flowing into a discussion at the end. And this kind of, it triggered some people. But I like to say stuff that triggers people. But I believe this.
Hell yeah.
The villains of this world are smarter than us. Now, before people get all in a tizzy, oh, they're not smarter than me. Did I say you? Us as a collective, as a world. Because let's think about this. All right. It said, okay, we cut the head off the snake. No, you didn't. They're always slithering in the shadows, and they stay hidden, and then they reappear. Oh well, we're gonna get them again. But they've always got a plan, and I just froze up. They always got a plan, and they've always got things in place if they don't make it. Okay, we've seen this throughout history. All the and it continues to be that way. You'd be like, oh yeah, oh I'm glad he's finally gone. You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody who's like, what's the big George Soros right now? George Soros, yeah, George. Oh, good, George Soros is gone. Maybe some things to get better. No, he's got stuff. Man, these people have got stuff in plan for decades, probably hundreds of years from now. They got this stuff laid in. So the thing that you need to be concerned about is making sure you and yours, the people you care about, is taken care of. All right. That's the best we can do. Unfortunately. All right. There's a lot of this stuff that we ain't going to be able to stop because there's just too many normies out there. There's just too many folks. It's just normal folk just walking around like, yeah, man, whatever comes my way, but I'll just take it. I'll just take the D. And they said to me like, well, the human race has gotten, life has gotten better over the past 2,000 years. I said, you're not wrong there. Okay. It has gotten better. If you get a cut on your arm, they don't have to take your whole arm off. You don't have to go out there and till your own fields. You got somewhere you can shit and piss, and
you're not going to die of dysentery.
Yeah. I got you of that, but they're just moving you. They're just moving the goalposts or moving you into a different form of slavery. I mean, that's just the whole premise. So, can you get your family? Can you kind of move out of that box that they try to put everybody in? Be able to critically think, at the same time understand that you won't be able to change everything, but then whatever does come your way, being able to use their tactics against them. They give you a way to thrive in their society, but you got to be able to use their tactics against them. That's the whole premise.
Yeah. So that triggered some people? People got upset with you saying that?
Oh no, yeah. People got upset because I said that the villains are smarter than us. That right there triggered them.
Dude, I mean, okay, so let me agree with you on that, because there's an old saying that says, a person is smart, people are stupid. That's 100% true. As a society, the people are fucking retarded. I always say it. Go drive for 5 minutes on the interstate in California. You'll agree with me. Trust me. Doesn't mean you're stupid, because you're looking at everyone going, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? But when you get together in mass, people are fucking stupid.
I 100% agree with you.
That's why they love cities.
I think the villains are smarter than us because they have more information. It's the same as a parent, an overbearing parent with a child. It doesn't mean that the child can't figure out its surroundings and rise up and use its parents' actions against them, because it totally could, just for analogy's sake. But the parent is going to do what it expects the child to do. It has expectations based on the child's behavior, and it also has way more information about the world around it, and the kid does not. So, but if a kid can be creative enough, I've seen kids do crazy shit where they just think outside the box and are like, you know what I'm gonna do? Like the kid we just saw on Instagram that figured out how to open the fridge and climb up on the table and then climb up on top of some pizza, open it up and just sit and eat it. And I was like, fuck you, I'm gonna do this. But kids can be creative, but that's like us. I don't want to compare us to children. Maybe that will trigger some
necessity breeds creativity. And what do you want?
And the villains are like the overbearing parents, but that is why they do appear to be more intelligent. It doesn't mean they're smarter, but they very clearly have much more information than we do, for sure.
Yeah, more information. They've made sure that they've passed their wealth down throughout generations. So generational wealth. Now, it may not be tied to the exact same name. Because look at who owns most of the world: BlackRock and Vanguard. BlackRock and Vanguard. They about damn near own the world. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, do you know who's over those corporations? Do you know people there? I mean, nobody ever talks about them at all, and they own most of the world. I mean, there's a few in this space. There's a few people that talk about it, but do you see anybody talking about them on MSNBC or on Fox News?
Dude, up until about 2 or 3 years ago, I'd never even heard of BlackRock. Vanguard, I do know, because that's where my 401k is. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, fuck, I need to pull my money out. And guess what? They won't let you pull your fucking money out. They're like, nope. Sorry, it's ours until you're 68 if you make it that far. or however.
Yeah,
old.
you would have to take that and flip that into another asset. There's ways to maneuver around that, but you have to.
I think you
It
can
has
roll
to
it
be
into
dumped
IRA.
into. Yeah, it has to be rolled into something else.
I
In
want to
order
opt
to
out of that
dodge.
system though.
Yeah, to dodge
Completely
the
opt out of the
taxes.
401k shit. It's
Well,
bullshit.
a strategy that I'm about to start right here recently, and I'm glad this is educational as well, and it's not just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a IUL. I've been hearing a whole lot of people talk about it. I've been looking into it. Index Universal Life Insurance. So the way you set it up, minimum death benefit, maximum cash value. And what that allows you to do is it allows the insurance company to stake your money into stocks. And people are like, well, dang, I can lose money. No, they have a floor. So there's a set amount of percentage that you're going to get on your money regardless. You could get more if the stock does better. I think they usually stake it with like the S&P 500. So there's a floor. So you're not ever going to lose, but you could have massive gains. Now within that, you can actually pull a loan from yourself or a loan from your death benefit. Give yourself the loan. Your cash value continues to gain money as if you didn't take any out, and then you pay yourself back, and then that cash that goes back in, you continue to get exponential growth on that money.
Are you a
Now,
Nigerian
This
prince?
sounds like a Black Mirror episode where if you don't pay it back in
Mhm.
time, they start deducting from your years left on Earth.
Yeah, yeah. So the whole premise of that is that if you set it up that way within a minimum death benefit maximum cash value, the tax code allows you to draw on that tax free.
Huh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
For certain purposes or for any purpose whatsoever, like to buy a new home or for like an emergency or nothing
Whatever.
or anything. Okay.
Well, we'll have to
Whatever.
look into that. You'll have to send me the link to that.
Yeah. And there is no age tied to it.
Huh.
No age tied to it.
That sounds a
so
little too
this-
good to be true, so I'll look into it.
No, but it costs you though, the way you set it up. But here, the thing about it is that if your situation changes, then you can change your premiums at any time. This one's more expensive. You're gonna want that disposable income to put into it, but this is more, and you still maintain your death benefit. So even though you're pulling money from it, you're pulling from cash value. And if you were to pass, then your kids would still get the death benefit from it tax free. All right. But there's a certain way that you got to set this up. So that's why I'm doing more research on it myself. I've been looking into some people who's been talking about it, but I'm like, that's a good strategy for people if they want to get out of the 401k type deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You try to have some tax free income when you get older, or
Well, dude, if
become
you-
like your own bank. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, dude, if you look into that more and have like some kind of, not a presentation, but like if you have like kind of a laid out like some bullet points or something of how what that all entails, that would be awesome for a round 2 with that. So keep me updated with that.
Yeah.
What time? Oh yeah, we can wrap up here. That dude, that was educational and informative. And
Yeah, this was a fun episode.
I mean, we had XCubed420 with his sex education talk. If you haven't listened to Day Zero, at about 15 to 20 minutes every episode, he lays down some sex education. You're gonna learn how to use boner. You're gonna learn all kinds of stuff.
Boner.
Dude,
yeah, there you go.
Tell everybody again where they can find you and what else you got going on in the future and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so serious content, as we said earlier, which my latest video I just dropped today on BitChute, YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey. And it's a gentleman on a train who was, of course, wearing his N95, and he proceeds to dig in his ass and then pulls his mask down to smell his hand. So that's that's the newest video. So that's my quote unquote serious content. So
Love it.
So,
Love
so
it.
obviously, I like to be a little entertaining when I'm talking, and I know what people like. You putting on a persona. No, if you were at work with me, this is the way I talk every day. I just talk just like this, so just random. So we've got that. So that's my more serious content, and that's where you can go. Actually, on Odyssey is where you can find my entire volume of all the videos I've made from way back when I started in 2020. I started June of 2020. And before I got deleted from YouTube, I think I had made 900 videos in in a little over a year and a half. So yeah, I was absolutely insane. So I'm well over 1,000 now with the stuff that I'm doing on my new channel on YouTube, which is there's a dash in there, XCubed420 presents. There you can go and find movie reviews. Me and Corey do movie reviews, trailer reviews, as far as any recent flicks. We actually just had a roundtable DCEU discussion. That's DC Comics. I guess
nice.
everybody knows what that is. Yeah,
You
so
nerd.
with me, Corey, and talk about the collapse of it, because they hired a new CEO, James Gunn, and he said, "Yeah, well, I'm firing everybody." So they got like 4 movies coming out this year that ain't even going to be part of the new universe. So it's just like they're a mess right now. But we had Ryder Lee up there on that episode, so he was our resident DCEU expert on that.
Nice.
So that's out. You can check that. Showtime with the Cube is the podcast. That's on the Forbidden Knowledge News Network. If you want to see our ugly mugs, then you go to YouTube, and I got the video up there. And I actually just released a video today as well, with a young lady from she's across the pond. I'm not sure if it's London, but she gave her Shagifying Rap of 2022. Now she gives a breakdown of her sexual encounters in 2022 in depth. Okay, and I react to that. And so that is a great. Hey, look, man, there's some things up there that it can open your eyes. Okay, it can open your eyes. 55 partners in a year, which is pretty good. But she said it brings her number up to 91, and she is not anything to look at. When I say low hanging fruit, this is fruit that's on the ground and it's spoiled, it's rotten. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it's a slow Tuesday. Exactly. I don't even know if it's a slow Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
I mean, it have to be the slowest of Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she even goes over her injuries, which I didn't know that was a thing. I prefer to be safe.
Sexual injuries or just
Vaginal
regular injuries?
or
Sexual injury. Sexual injury during her sexual encounters.
people?
Oh, she sounds freaky.
Like she kept up with everything. Like she's bisexual too. So she slept with 33 men and 21 women. Yeah. I mean, it's whatever it goes. And then she had a category for big dicks. Okay, it was 10 big dicks out of the 33. So that's that's a 1 in 3 chance. So I mean, she's doing pretty good if she managed to find that. You know what I'm saying?
How old is this chick?
She's probably, I'd probably say she's in her mid-20s. Yeah,
Okay.
so 91 people in her mid-20s. I think that she's well on her way to dying early. And it's unfortunate I couldn't find the whole video. I only found like 2 minutes of it, and I tried to search the internet for the whole video. She may have already deleted it, which would probably be best. And I also wasn't sure if it was a skit. I'm like, this may be a skit. All right, because I don't know.
Dude, you never know. People do shit like that on YouTube or wherever for views. Like,
Even
and
if
that's
it's
fine.
funny, though, I actually think that's fine. If it's funny, it's funny, and it doesn't matter if it's not, because it's not really educational. You're not going to learn anything from
And you're
that.
not
If you
gonna
get a
care
laugh
like
out of it, good.
Are you gonna want to hit that or something? Like, who cares? But anyway,
She was real.
we love you, buddy. Even though you're dark white, we love you so much. We hope everybody found this episode amazing and that you're hard, hot, and throbbing.
Hot and throbbing.
In your tallywhackers.
Tallywhacker.
All right. Yeah, whatever. All right. Bye.